I've dealt with actually losing my mind and not knowing who people were in my family. Good morning, and good morning. And welcome to Coffee and Coaching. I am your coach, Coach Michelamonè, your certified life and relationship coach. And here at Coffee and Coaching, what we do is we stimulate conversations to energize relationships. And we do that by answering questions and talking about all things relationships, questions that have been posed to me either through Quora, through email, through DM, or in some way, fashion, or form, where I am helping other people through helping the person that has asked me the question. And many times I have found, and I've gotten inboxes that saying that, wow, thank you so much for sharing that particular question, because that was something that I was actually going through. And I feel like this, even if it's only one person that I help, that through doing this, I am satisfied in doing that, because I believe that what I'm called to do is to be able to help people through the things that I've gone through. And stay to the end. I'm going to give you a testimony about why I believe that this is possible with the answer that I'm giving to this young lady. But before we move to there, let's talk about today's coffee. Today I am drinking a Brooklyn cinnamon Subway, and it is so good. It is a cinnamon flavored, naturally flavored coffee. Y'all know how I am about these naturally flavored coffees, so I'm really excited, and it tastes delicious. So I'm going to enjoy this cup of coffee on this morning. Make sure that you are commenting, and sharing. Just share now. If you're watching me right now, click share. Go ahead and share and forget about it. It takes nothing to do that, because sharing is caring. So let's move on into today's question. Today's question, and like I said, please stay to the end. I'm going to give you a testimony of why I believe what I'm saying to her is very much possible. The question is, if you had a bad mental health, if you have had bad mental health while being in a relationship, and that feels like it's damaging you more, should you stay? You should never stay in anything that is abusing you, whether it is physical, mental, or emotional abuse. Abuse is still abuse. You must make sure you care for yourself first. You are no good to anyone else without doing so. Make sure you do what is necessary at all times to ensure that that's the case. In order to do this, you must know your worth and your value. And without even knowing you, I can tell you that you're very valuable. Your value precedes what other people feel about you, and how bad they have treated you, and what your past has shown you. Every day that you wake up, your value goes up, because it means you still have purpose in this life to fulfill, and it's time for you to see that for yourself. Next, you must find a coach or a therapist that can help you gain momentum in helping you through the mental challenges that you're encountering until you can handle them on your own, because you do indeed have control over your mind. You just haven't learned how to do that yet. This is done by first getting away from those that have harmed you. Next, forgiving anyone that has harmed you, as well as yourself, for the feelings that you may have that you allowed it. Next, you want to gain control over the thoughts that come and go in your mind. You have to do this by stopping them as soon as they arrive and saying something out loud to serve them notice. Something like, I reject that thought. Then replace that thought with something more productive. Now, I want you to be aware that this is not as simple as it may sound, because this will be consistent work that you must put in. But I will say that it gets easier to do the more you do it. Before you know it, you'll look up and the thoughts that you once had will go away. So you must decide today that you're worth the work that it takes, and you will do what you need to do to keep that value up. I hope that this helps. Now, a lot of times people believe that they don't have control over their thoughts, and we do. They believe they don't have control over their thoughts, and I am living proof that you have control over your thoughts. Does it take work? It absolutely takes work. I have dealt with the first 35, almost 38 years of my life, I dealt with mental challenges. Mental health is one of the things that it's a generational thing. My mother dealt with it. She was in and out of, at that Tinley Park Mental Hospital during that time. And she dealt with that challenge for some years. And mental health during that time was not something that our community talked about. it was something that people would say, oh, something's a little wrong with her, or she's a little tainted and things of that sort. But nobody ever dealt with that. I've dealt with actually losing my mind, and not knowing who people were in my family. There was a time when I was going through something, and I left an office, actually going through my second divorce, left the office because I had never imagined that this was the best relationship I had ever been in, that this man wanted to leave. And when he said I wanted a divorce, I really was like taken aback. And I don't remember anything from that. So I'm going to give you the account that I was told. I apparently had walked something like 5 miles in the dead of the winter with nothing but a coat and some, I was barely dressed because we were in the car, but I had clothes on. Walked from one city to another in the south suburbs. And in that, I was walking down Cicero, walked from Tinley Park to Country Club Hills. I don't know if anybody knows where that is in Chicago, but I walked from Tinley Park to Country Club Hills in a blizzard. It was cold, it was snowing, it was everything out there. And I was walking down Cicero. And while I was walking down Cicero, two guys in a van had pulled over to the side because why is this woman walking in the dead of the winter? Because that's how cold and how snowy it was. And they began to try to get me into the van. Honey, let's get you home. Whatever they were saying, I don't know. So here comes my ex-husband pulling up behind the van because he sees me. He recognizes the coat that I have on. And he began to say, babe, come, we need to get in the car. Let's go home. And I didn't know who he was because my mind had just slipped. I was gone, right? And he began to tell them that that's my wife, bring her, let her go, leave her alone. And because my ex-husband is white and I'm black, they were black and they were not believing him. They were thinking, what do you mean? This is not your wife. And they were asking me, baby girl, that's what he said. Baby girl, is this your husband? And I'm looking at him, looking at them, looking at him, looking at them like, I don't know. And so apparently he was able to coax them to let them know. I don't know what he did to let them know that I was his wife. So he gets me into his truck, drives me home. And when we get to our house, I go into this frenzy because I don't know where I am. I'm screaming and kicking, trying to get out of this truck because I don't recognize who he is. I don't recognize the house we just pulled up to and none of these things. In comes him calling my grandmother, my Nana. Sorry. My grandmother was the only person that I recognized. I didn't recognize my children. And I was like this. I don't know how many days I was like this. I didn't recognize anybody but her. And she was able to coax me and tell me things like, this is your husband. It's safe for you here. It's okay for you to stay. He had to stand in a whole other room and allow me to get through this. Because she kept telling him, no, we're not taking her to a hospital. They're not going to be drugging her up and any of these things. We're gonna pray through this. And I tell you, the prayers of a grandmother is amazing. Because I worked through it. And I vowed from that day forward that I would not allow my mind to overtake me. And I had to put work in. I had to literally speak out loud to myself and talk to myself and tell myself that I cast down those imaginations. I cast down those thoughts. I cast down the things that are trying to overtake my mind. And I tell you now that during the work that it took for me to be able to really gain control of my thoughts has me in a place now where I fight tooth and nail to make sure that my peace is unrattled. You know, I make sure that there is nothing and no one that comes between me and ensuring that I am whole in my mind. Is it a battle? Is it a challenge? Absolutely, every single day. But I promise you, if you put the work in, you have control over your thoughts. You have control over your mind. There is nothing that can control you more than you. You just have to have someone there. You have to have someone that believes in you, somebody that's going to help you walk through it, somebody that's going to be kind and gracious to you, that's going to allow you to be able to walk through this thing, because it is absolutely possible. I am proof. I could have been stuck in some mental hospital somewhere where someone have lost me and drugged me up and left me there. But no, my grandmother, and during that time, who is still my friend today, my ex-husband at that time, 20 years later, who is my friend now today, believed in me. And if you have someone that believes in you and you can believe in yourself, even just a little bit, you can work yourself through these mental cages that I like to say that you're in. So the next time you have these mental challenges, or you're having some thoughts in your mind that you don't want there, say out loud, I reject that thought. And then you reject that thought and you replace that thought with something else. You may have to do that 2 or 3 times in the first 5 minutes of you actually trying to reject that thought. But when you go up against it and you are fervent and you are diligent and you desire to be better, you can be better. People, there's so many people, so many things out here that are trying to make us believe that we do not have control. All the programming and all of these things like that. I want you to know you have control over your mind. And if you have challenges there, please reach out to someone that can assist you. If you don't have someone that can assist you, reach out to me, because I promise you, these tears are tears of knowing where I came from. Knowing that I have not arrived, but I've gotten to a place that is far beyond where I used to be, and that I am placed in the place. I'm able to go through those things because I can help other people. I have endured those things for other people. And when I realized that, and I realized that, wow, I wasn't going through these things. They weren't happening to me. They were happening for me so that I could go out and help other people. That was a changing dynamic in my life. And so I want to let you know, I hope that this helps someone. Please like, comment, and share. Please share this, because there may be someone on your page that could be helped through this, that does not understand and does not know that they can get through any mental challenges themselves. This is something that we are dealing with, especially now during this time with you being boxed up in a house. You're in the house with the abusers. You're losing jobs. You're feeling like there's no hope. I promise you, there's hope. There is something greater than what you're going through. There is something powerful in what you're going through. And once you gain the momentum and gain the knowledge of that power of what you are going through, that's when you win. That's when you win. I love y'all for real, for real. Please like, comment, and share if you like what I'm doing. Please make sure that you are, my God, thank you. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Tamika. Thanks, Lakeisha. I love y'all for real, for real. And I really hope that you all have an amazing day. Be beautiful. Get you some coffee. Make sure that you see me over at YouTube on Friday when I drop a new video. I put these on video on YouTube every single day, but I drop a brand new one every Friday. On Sundays, I have a show called His and Her Perspective with my co-host, Vaughn, the Love Alchemist. We're going to meet on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you see us on there too. And, if you want to hear more about my story and how I've gotten to where I am, make sure that you pick up my book, Rejection Saved My Life. It has 15 transformational keys on using rejection as fuel. I talk about many of these stories that I've gotten through. I keep saying by joke, but that I've been through as much as 10 women put together. I believe that was for a purpose. Thank you so much, Teresa. I really appreciate you all staying with me. Be blessed. I love y'all for real, for real. Bye.